Dan, you're really nursing that beer over there.
Hey, don't you worry about what I'm doing over here.
I'm worried about my friend being a pussy is what I'm worried about.
You know, being called a pussy isn't even an insult to me, bro, because I know you love pussy. Relentless pussy.
All right. Okay. All right.
So basically, you just said you loved me, which means you're gay, and now we have to kiss.
Bro, I'd love to kiss you.
Welcome to the smoke pit.
Hey.
So we have a fucking episode today.
Yeah, we do.
A motherfucking episode.
Okay. Super intense.
We have the host of the Sierra Hotel Echo S.H.E podcast here with us today.
Mm-hmm.
They thought they were coming out here for a cruise that they won. Nope. Total catfish.
Exactly.
Now they have to be on our shitty podcast.
It's a trap.
That's right.
They came all the way out from sunny Denver, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's snowing tomorrow, though.
Snowing.
Yeah, it's going to snow tomorrow.
Oh.
So we'll just stay here.
To my right, I have Caitlin. Would you tell our listeners, all three of them, a little bit about yourself?
Oh, yeah. My name is Caitlin Chacon. I'm an Air Force veteran. I'm currently a student at the University of Colorado, Denver. I served in the Air Force for 8 years as an aircraft mechanic, essentially working on weapon systems. I'm an Afghanistan veteran, and I started Sierra Hotel Echo just because I saw everything that veterans were doing, but I felt like the female voice was just lacking. And after I started getting in school and seeing the literature of how different female veterans are statistically, clinically, or socially, I just felt like their voice needed to be represented amongst all the male voices. And then my co-host is Jess, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Jess. I'm an Army veteran, also a student at CU Denver. What else?
Didn't you go somewhere cool?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was
Lead with this. Lead with this.
Veteran, Kuwait, through Iraq to Syria. I did chemical recon in the Army for 4 years, and that was fucking awesome. Ooh. And now I'm just...
Chemical recon, what does that mean? Like if you have like a barometer and you see like a bunch of penicillin on the ground, you're like, Mike Sensi was here.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so basically we used to use the Fox, and now there's the NBC Stryker, so it's just the Stryker series, and it has all the chemical equipment in it, so we can be sealed and clean and go into a dirty area, and we can like test the water, soil, vegetation. We can get samples of like dead bodies or like dead animals, and like
all of those things you just mentioned are in EP Mike's bedroom.
Oh my God.
Now,
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yep.
So we have episode 23 today. We have myself, Dan Sharp, Marine Corps veteran, infantry, Iraq, Afghanistan. My co-host, Mike Sensi, Air Force Auxiliary. Is that what we're doing?
Coast Guard Sanitation. Yeah.
Oh, okay, there it is. Just kidding. He was an honorary Marine via the Navy. Been to a bunch of cool places. Our executive producer, EP Mike. Since we have two mics, I name so nice, I had to buy him twice. So we call him EP Mike, world's shittiest producer.
Easily.
But for some reason, we keep him around.
It's because of that face. Look at that face.
No, I thought it was like the massive dong.
Well, it's both. I mean,
yeah.
That's the face I was talking about.
Like it.
Look at
Like
that face.
I would like to lead into that, ladies. Can there ever be too big?
Oh wow, here we go.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for you, buddy. Like, yeah, forever alone.
Wow.
Forever alone. It is scary, like seeing him like walk from his bedroom to the kitchen naked.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the scene from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But instead of like the T-Rex tail, it's just his dong.
Oh my God. It's like a baby arm.
Da na 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 na.
He does move in herds.
Yeah. So we have a bit of a barn burner today.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start off with a bit of a segment called "We Forced a Bot to Watch All the Smoke Pit Podcasts and Write Its Own Episode." Mm-hmm. How do you think that went, ladies?
I think it was probably not able to create an algorithm correctly at all.
Jess?
I thought it was spot on.
Yeah? Okay. So we're gonna read it for you guys now. Begins. Cliff notes. Dan has the emotional danger. Mike, more drunk than acceptable.
Fair.
So far, pretty spot on.
Not bad.
Dan, I tell jokes because I am unloved. Mike, mumbles.
Yeah, yeah.
EP Mike is breakdancing on his laptop.
Yeah.
Probably deleting audio. God damn it. Dan, how can I die without making people sad? Mike, has sex with fat girl loudly.
What the fuck?
Dan, give me sadness burrito. Mike. Yeah. So, artificial intelligence at its best.
Absolutely. Kind of a home run, I feel.
Honestly, I feel like at this point we could just hang up the cape and let the bot just write the episodes from now on.
For real, yeah. Let's take a vacation. Let's go to Colorado.
Colorado would be a fucking awesome place to go.
Colorado is super dope, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so a little bit of a lightning round. If you had a all expense paid vacation to anywhere in the world, where would it be? Just go.
Syria.
Oh yeah, no, don't fucking go there. I don't know. Fuck, this is a hard question.
Into the mic, please.
Oh right.
If you're going to whisper, oh fuck, like, please at least let our listeners hear it. Yeah.
Where would I go? I don't know, like Bora Bora or something. Yeah,
Ooh.
like where like the water's so clear and like pretty. Yeah, I'd go there.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel bad because I feel like I would stay in the water.
Yeah.
You know, like you're like, oh, what is that like weird white trail floating through? Oh, get away!
Gross.
Oh, now you're virtuous.
Yeah,
Is that the line?
I'm pretty
Now do we
fucking
find the line?
virtuous. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's too far, Dan. How long do I have for this vacation?
27 years,
So I just live there.
if you want, or you can come back tomorrow.
What? Oh, so
The
it's-
world is your oyster, my
I
friend.
don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like making decisions. I would say all expenses paid. I want to do something like I kind of just want to go to Canada, honestly. I
Yeah?
like Canada. Yeah.
Like Montreal,
Yeah,
Vancouver,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
like,
all the major cities like Toronto and stuff.
nice.
I think it'd be cool.
Caitlin?
I've been wanting to do this trip for a while to Mozambique. I always say it incorrectly, or Tanzania, where you go and you help collect like a dolphin sanctuary, because my favorite animal is a dolphin and they're endangered there. And then you also help the village, work in the schools. So it's not like luxury, but I've been wanting to do that forever. So I do that.
God, now I got to say something like noble.
I know, yeah.
So two things on that. One, I was in Key West and I got to swim with this 900-pound bottlenose named Stormy. It was awesome. And like all the dolphins at this water park were wild. They just put like a sonar in the water, and that tells the dolphins that it's feeding time. And over the years, they've like taught them the behaviors. So like they're not kept in a cage or a tank or anything. They just come and go, and they've never missed a show in like 17 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to go to Key West to swim with dolphins, like let me know. I'm here for it. And two,
Handraise.
Yeah.
and did you say Mozambique?
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought that was just like shooting a dude twice in the chest and then one in the face.
It is, yes. It is.
Yeah, I didn't think that was saving dolphins.
Either way.
I think
Good old
it's
Mozambique.
That's right.
it's a layered country.
A layered country. You know, shoot a guy in the face, save a dolphin, get some Starbucks. Like, we're progressing.
Yeah.
I think for me, if I could take an all expense paid vacation to anywhere, it'd probably be space.
Okay.
And like I know
You came in clutch with that.
Yeah, yeah.
kind of like kind of like a douchebag answer to be like, oh, I'd go to Jupiter or whatever, but just to like even go to the moon or even go to like Florida to take the 0G flight out of I think Cape Canaveral.
Ugh, but you have to go to Florida.
Hey, how dare you? All right,
Gross.
all right. Are we gonna go in on Indiana this episode?
No, because Indiana's super virtuous.
Let me know. I
Just
got the silver bullets.
I don't know. I would rather go to Florida than Indiana.
Oh, so cool. There's crazy people
Disney
surrounding me.
World.
Great. Great.
Disney World.
Great. Surrounded by idiots.
Yeah, and you know what is the most damaging part of all this? Is I was gonna take you there for our wedding.
Oh, really?
I wanted our first kiss to be on the 0G flight, so I could say it was out of this world.
Aww.
How
No,
dare
I'm not,
you.
I'm not doing that.
Like, what is this feeling?
Yeah.
Speaking of feelings,
Yeah.
the other night I sent co-host Mike a song. Would you tell us a little bit about that?
Why are you doing this?
I
Did
don't
we
know.
talk about this? I feel like we talked about this.
Not
but-
on the show.
Oh, fair enough. No, it was like 1 or 2 a.m. It was pretty late, and I was awake doing what I do at 1 or 2 a.m. Nothing, just staring at the ceiling. And
I have thoughts, but go on.
I don't believe that.
my hands were full at the moment. And Dan texted me, and I
Yeah,
stopped
full
off.
of cheeks.
Any fucking way. So I stopped what I was doing. I paused my video, and whenever Dan texts me, I stopped everything I'm doing. And then he sent me a link to a song, and it was Ernie from Sesame Street singing "I Don't Want to Live on the Moon," and he was like, "I'm in my feels." And so I listened to it, and I fucking got in my feels. And so I was like crying alone at 2 a.m., which I'm one to do, but for something totally random.
Instead of just emotional trauma.
Yeah, usually it's just the lack of sleep and
Yeah,
the
and
loneliness.
so I think that brings it full circle because I would like to go to the moon, but
Right.
I don't think I'd like to live there.
Mm-hmm. If you haven't listened to that song, you should listen to it.
Yeah, you probably listened to it when you were a kid.
Yeah,
Like if you are a human being that grew up in a decent country.
sure.
Not like Mozambique. Riding dolphins to shoot
Right.
people in the face.
At the same time.
Fuck yeah,
Next spring break.
that's right.
Yeah, that and I was talking to a mutual friend of Mike's and I, and she plays the banjo. And I asked her about the Kermit the Frog song, Rainbow Connection.
Yeah,
I was like, is that played out? Like, is that like Wonderwall, you know?
yeah.
Like you're
In
at,
the banjo life, yeah.
the family incest fest 14, you know,
Right.
and you're like, oh yeah, so it's fucking my cousin's sister. Anyway, here's Rainbow Connection,
Yeah.
but a bing, 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 bing.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, and so if you haven't listened to those old school songs from like the Muppets or PBS, correct yourself.
Yeah, I don't think you said that last episode.
No, I was
actually
saving it
got a
up.
couple DMs. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. People were like, "Where was the correct?" And they always spell it wrong on purpose, like the correct yourself.
K's and stuff.
Yeah.
Boom, moving on.
That's right.
So we had a bit of a a drunken podcast, which the audio will not be released.
Never. It's for blackmail purposes
Yeah,
only.
we have a binding resolution from
Right.
the Geneva Convention. But I did ask a very interesting question that I think that would bear repeating. When you go out on a first date with somebody, what's something that they can do that will almost instantly guarantee they do not get a second date? Caitlin?
Oh, I thought we were going to do that they do.
Yeah, that'll be next.
Okay.
Thank you for stealing the thunder.
Sorry.
Damn it, Caitlin.
I'm trying to think can somebody else go? I'm trying to think what I said yesterday.
Mike.
That would guarantee not having a second date. Just don't compliment me enough, pretty much. I will say, if you don't laugh at my jokes, like at least one, then you're dead to me anyway. So that's pretty much it.
He is very insecure.
Yeah, I'm insanely insecure.
Fear of rejection.
Yeah. Jess.
Am I supposed to say what I said last night? Because I don't even remember.
I do. I remember mine.
Okay. I guess like probably just like being on their phone and like being distracted by it, and then like being a dick to the waiter.
That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
I said if it's like online dating, if I show up and you don't look like your pictures, like I'm going to leave early and I won't ever see you again.
Dang.
Yeah, like when we picked them up from the airport, she immediately hit me with the Heisman stiff arm and
Yeah.
tried to get back on the plane. But they're like, ma'am, like you can't. So, like this isn't going back to Denver.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
like, but I am.
False news.
Yeah.
She's like, I will rent a Segway if I have to.
Right. I'm out of here.
Yeah, so Jess stole my thunder a little bit because I said it first last night.
What?
But
Everybody's
if
stealing
you're,
your thunder, man.
yeah, I know it's
Thunderless over there.
No bullshit. I got plenty. I got plenty. Yeah, but if you're a dick to the wait staff, you know the way I like to order is like, hello, may I please have this? If you're like, yeah, I need this, or yeah, let me get
Yeah.
this, like that's kind of a dick move. And then also like when you could tell when somebody's like on the move somewhere, like you go to like go through the door, and if they're not like holding the door for other people, or at least look around to see if anyone's there. Because I remember this girl, she like basically almost like dropped the door on this older lady that was coming in. I was like, that was fucking rude. You know, just like because that kind of shows you that they're self-absorbed and they're not really present in the environment and what's going on.
Right.
So for me, that's like those two things are like a surefire way to probably not get a call back. However, like we did talk about, the girl who's sending nudes and stuff is not the one getting ghosted.
It's true. That's true.
So that being said,
Yeah.
what things will guarantee a second date?
I thought we were going to go. Okay.
Well, I had said that one time I had a date with a guy like on a Saturday night, and he called me the Friday night before to like just talk and get like the jitters out of the way and like figure out a restaurant. It was like a team effort, so I really liked that.
Yeah, just laugh at my jokes, pretty much. No, honestly, sense of humor is huge. Just like willingness to be kind of silly, because it is an awkward situation, especially the first time you're meeting somebody. So if you're willing to just kind of be silly and embrace how weird it is and just kind of laugh about it, then I think that's kind of cool.
No, I remember hiding in a bush for one of your dates,
Yeah.
as best friends are prone to do.
I appreciate that. You're my Overwatch.
Is that a true story?
And we'll get to that.
Let the man finish. I'll let you decide.
And so the girl walked up to the table, and at this point Mike was finished eating. He didn't wait for her. And he said, "We both know why you're here. Take your panties off."
Oh, man.
And that's how that went, and she did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I watched from the bush like a pervert.
That's right.
And we were never allowed to go back to the Olive Garden.
Yeah, exactly. I've been banned from that Chuck E. Cheese for years.
Jess?
I'd have to like kind of agree with Mike. It's like the like chemistry and just like being able to like laugh with each other. That'll do it.
That'll do.
I think for me, just saying that you want a second date is huge. Because once you finish your date, like there's always that anxiety, like, well, did she like me? Did he like me? Did it go well? Did I say something stupid? You know, especially if there are those other things, like they are looking at their phone or whatever. Yeah, they might just be nervous, or they might be like me and get like a million notifications a second.
Yeah.
If I really fucking like you, you could tell because I don't check my phone.
Right.
And then when I pull it out, it's like all the notifications. I gotta spend 30 minutes in the parking lot, like going through them before I can even drive home, like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
But yeah, just simply saying that, like, I had a great time. I'd like to see you again.
Yeah.
When are you available?
Yeah.
And just that simple act of showing me that I'm not alone in this. That inherently, even if I didn't have the best time or we didn't have the best chemistry, I'd be willing to give somebody a second shot if they put the effort out there to try to see me.
Right. I know you're a big proponent of this too, Dan. I always text within 24 hours of the day concluding, just saying the same thing pretty much, just to follow up. Just a quick report card of what happened. But yeah, I always try to make a connection, even if it was horrible. Just say, hey, I had a horrible time, and I would not like to see you again. Yeah, pretty much.
But still, take your panties off.
Right. Of course. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, and so the idea that some people think they have to wait like 3 days
That's
or
so
whatever.
dumb. That's so dumb.
That's ridiculous because
Yeah.
especially being in the military,
Right.
you can go from like not knowing someone to being married in like 6 days and like spending all your waking time with that person.
Right.
Because I'm clingy as fuck. If I like a girl, like I want to be around her all the time. Like,
Right.
I'm trying to hold hands. I'm trying to ride horses on the beach with you. Like, girl, let's do this. We
Yeah.
doing it or not? And I understand that's not everybody's cup of tea, but the idea that you have to wait like days or whatever to play it cool so you don't seem desperate. No, I'm fucking desperate. Like let me love you.
Well, I think that's just maturity. Like life is short, so just let it be known. Have transparent communication.
Right.
Yeah, that is a fair point. So EP, how we doing on time?
17:55. I was gonna say we haven't done anything yet.
We haven't done anything. Great time to talk about our sponsor, Come Back Home Over. So, ladies, out of these 4 scents that we have up here, which is your favorite?
I liked the disgruntled NCO.
Currently what I have in my hair.
That's right.
I haven't smelled them all, so
Jess is doing her homework right now as we speak.
typical.
Yeah.
What?
So for those of you listening, she is frantically smelling all the cans.
Like an addict. Yeah. Turns out she loves them all.
Actually, yeah.
Do you guys have the Pop Smoke one?
Not yet. That is en route.
Yeah.
I like the
right.
cocaine and hookers.
Don't we all?
Holla.
Yeah, I put a thing out on our story, which if you don't follow us on Instagram, you really should. But we're like, hey, what does the Pop Smoke scent smell like? And people like 60% of the answers were like cream pie, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, good.
And then after that, like,
What would that smell like?
Yeah, I was about to ask, what does a cream pie smell
Wait for
like?
the stuff to get her.
Vaginal juices and
I mean, I'm honestly
Yes.
shocked that both of you don't know.
Like a sex room?
Yeah, like a sex room.
When you walk into a room, you can tell somebody just had sex.
I don't necessarily think that's what a cream pie per se smells like.
Yeah, because I figured like after a cream pie, like I'm gonna get down there and like take a selfie with it and be
Right.
like, this is my art,
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Opening up a bake shop. What
You
up?
never had a guy take a selfie with you after sex?
no.
No?
Did I tell you my friend who
Woman, you need to live more.
Yeah.
my friend Austin who got catfished by that black guy and the same super awkward guy.
Yeah.
He hooked up with a hard 10. Like he was stationed up near Boston. He like took he was like texting me the whole night. He's like, I took this girl home. She's way out of my league. She's super funny, super hot. Send me a picture. Like gorgeous. And so they went back to his apartment. They ended up hooking up. He's like, I didn't know what to do because I'd like sealed the deal and I was feeling so high on myself. So he's like, so I just high-fived her vagina. And then she was like, did you just slap my vagina? And he was like, yeah. And she's like, okay, well, you can lose my number. He's like, yeah, it makes sense.
I think the weirdest thing that I've ever done after sex is like, so I was wearing a condom and I took it off and she was like, you know, could you go down on me so I could finish? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. You know, like I'm a generous lover.
Yeah, I was about to say, okay, go ahead.
You know, that's fine. And especially if she's got like the fire vagine, you know, and you only last like 30 seconds, you're kind of obligated for that blessing, you know.
Be a gentleman, yeah.
So like I'm down there and I just got this wild hair at my ass and I took a deep breath and I just like blew a bunch of air in there and she's like queefed all over my face.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
It seemed right in the moment.
Right.
Yeah, so she just queefed all over my face.
So okay.
And it was like a lot. Like I felt like a dog with his head out the window.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So, but why? Who was that for though? Like
for me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was for training purposes only.
Right. Exactly. So would you do it again?
I think yeah, but not if there was a cream pie involved.
Sure. Well, no, nobody.
I think these things need to be stipulated.
No, you're right. You're right.
Like, because I don't know what happened in that Korean 5-way with EP Mike.
Nothing, because it didn't happen.
God.
What? You were the one who's saying it did.
Wait, Dan, so I've actually kind of done the same thing, but to a guy, but on his balls, and it's like the best thing. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Yes.
and he loved it. It's like
amazing.
like blowing like raspberries on his balls. And he's fucking just like,
Yeah, like when you blow like on somebody's stomach, you know?
Yeah.
Did he giggle? I'd imagine it would make somebody giggle.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Just the thought of it made me giggle.
The thought of it made me heard wedding bells. Like,
Right, exactly.
That's
Just his wife material.
that's
right.
potent substance you got there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Caitlin, what about you?
What was the question?
I don't think there was.
What is the craziest or most raunchiest thing you've ever done in bed?
Ooh, oh, wow.
Because this is true equality, folks. All right,
Yeah.
This is the kind of shit we talk about when it's just us boys. So
Yeah.
true equality.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the only thing that's coming to my mind, so that there's not dead space, is
All about the show. Right?
is one time I was with somebody and they were behind me, and then I turned around and I saw that they had their phone out and they were recording.
Oh, that's not cool.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Yeah,
Yeah, guys do that a lot. I hate that.
yeah. So I was like, "Can you delete that, please?
Right.
Thank you."
Yeah. Ugh, that's the worst.
Because if there's like a verbal agreement beforehand,
Of
Yeah.
course.
yeah, because there's been girls that have had no problem with like me busting out the phone, but like I always want to like watch it with them afterwards, you know, like,
Right,
these are
yeah,
home
yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
you know.
Review the game film.
Mike,
I'm a virgin, so I don't know. For my microphone to be called Mr. Sex Man, I'm actually super vanilla. Like, I mean, you know me well enough, Dan. I actually am pretty fucking vanilla, so I don't think anything crazy per se.
you know, just having sex with a 51-year-old woman.
Yeah, no, that's pretty vanilla too.
Yeah.
A lot of missionary because of her sciatic.
All right, well, no, we'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Jess,
So wait, the question was like raunchiest,
craziest,
or
raunchiest, like what comes to mind?
That's like literally me in a nutshell. Like nothing in the bedroom with me is like vanilla. So like, I don't know. I've got like a studded crop underneath my bed. I like that. I've been tied up. You know,
was just this week,
group
yeah.
sex. Oh fuck you, Mike. Oh my god. But
Whoa,
the
group sex?
Yeah.
Are you and I the only one at this table who have had group sex?
What define group sex?
Yeah.
More than two people.
Yeah.
And so
I've had a
orgy?
three-way, yeah.
No, like an orgy is like
Three-way's not really group. I guess it is group sex.
yeah, a
but-
three-way would be group
Okay,
sex.
well then, yeah. I've had
yeah.
group sex too also.
I have not. No, sorry.
Wouldn't
You have to
recommend it.
apologize.
Yeah, apologize.
You have to apologize.
Damn
for
it.
Okay, but the craziest probably is like I was tied down to the bed with a gag and a blindfold, and he had like a body massager, and like I just, you know, like the suspense of like where he was gonna go next was like so thrilling.
You ended up
Yeah, it
going
was
home.
So hot. No, hell no. I had like the best orgasm of my life. I squirted
Nice.
all over his bed. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right then.
You asked.
You did ask.
No,
bring
You
Jess
did
on
ask.
more.
That's probably the best content we've ever had on the show.
Easily, yeah, easily.
Yeah, see, we went real heavy last episode with the combat story, so we figured we'd, keep the enemy on his toes
Yeah.
and avoid complacency.
Yeah.
And then instead of just telling our sad combat stories
Bum me out.
yeah, we just talk about just Mike cream pieing girls
Sure.
and
Yeah, sure.
all kinds of stuff.
As I'm one to do. Yep.
Yep.
I,
on occasion, on your wedding night,
Sure. Yeah.
or would that just be like boring for you?
To have sex on my wedding night?
Yeah.
I'm never getting married, so I don't see how that's.
So
a realm
if
of
you did find
possibilities.
like a unicorn that you would want to get married to, like what would you have to do something to like up the ante?
No, still vanilla, still missionary, and then turn on Letterkenny as soon as we're done.
Excellent show,
Yeah,
isn't it?
It's a great show. Yeah.
Yeah. So next topic, I guess we should probably get into the meat and potatoes of the episode.
Sure.
And what did you guys fly out here to talk about again?
Well, we had in production talked about dating stories.
Ooh.
Dating stories. All
Saucy.
right, I'll let you lead into that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Soft pitch. All right.
Yep.
Well, I've had like really, really good dating experiences, and I've had really horrible ones. Just a blanket statement, though, I feel like a lot of people misuse social media or online dating apps because they don't have an objective in it, like they're just randomly like meeting up with whoever, like they don't know like a criterion of like the type of person they're looking for, or so I think a lot of people get hurt on online dating because they're mindlessly doing it.
Yeah, more so just going for what's available versus what they actually want.
Yeah, and I think that's where this whole like ghosting thing comes from, and people being left on red. It's just because people aren't honest with themselves and what they're looking for, so they can't tell whoever they're actually involved with.
Oh, 2,000%. Like one day, like a girl will be like, yeah, I want to be with you, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day, like you're not responding or anything. And you're like, really? Just like, why do you got to leave me on like that?
Right. Yeah.
You have experience with guys doing that?
Leaving, like ghosting me?
Or like leading you on?
I had a lot of experiences a while ago. I haven't dated in a long time, but I had experiences where they just didn't want to like, we were like exclusively talking and dating, but they just didn't want to like claim me in public kind of thing. Ooh. And that was a little hard.
Yeah, that is rough.
Yeah.
As
what
previously
the fuck?
stated, like I'm clingy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be holding hands, taking pictures, like showing you off. Like that's like that would be fucking heartbreaking to me.
I love that. Wow, so my dating life is a fucking mess.
How's it going?
It's not. I mostly, yeah, so like a more recent thing was like I just recently got ghosted, and I just kind of wanted to know why. Like I didn't know if maybe I did something wrong or like whatever, but he just went back to his ex-girlfriend. I'm like, that's totally okay. Like I wish you just could have told me that. But
Right.
I feel like sometimes people just don't know like how someone else will respond. But like again, like if we're mature enough to like engage in sex and like talk about our feelings and like whatever, you should be mature enough to just say how you feel. Like, hey, like I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, we're like whatever, I kind of felt like a little side piece, but that's fine. But like, hey, I'm getting back with her. I'm like, oh, thanks for letting me know. Like that way I'm not like hung up on you or like wondering like, oh, what if. But honestly, like the dating culture nowadays is just really frustrating, and I can't get with it, and I think I'm just gonna be alone forever.
I like it.
Mike?
Yeah. My dating life is non-existent. I go home and read my Bible every night. But no, honestly, man, like you guys touched on, like especially just the convenience of having an app where you look at people's faces and then just judge them on aesthetics and say, I want to be with that person or not, is crazy to me. So it does lead to a culture, unfortunately, of ghosting and left on red and stuff. But I try not to do that stuff as much as I used to. I used to love it because it was like a game kind of, just like, okay, left, right. It kept my attention. It was great. But
I thought you meant ghosting was like a game.
no, definitely not.
Like we was about to fight.
Yeah, no,
and make out afterwards.
Because I love you, man. No. I think it's done more harm than good. There's the convenience sake, but you should go over quality, not the quantity, which is I think everybody's doing now.
And I think that kind of leads into how people get delusional images of themselves.
Right.
Like, oh, look at all these matches or all these likes that I got and stuff. And they kind of forget at the end of the day, like, they still shit. They still put their pants on, one leg at a time.
You still shit?
I've told you so many times we need to take you to medical for a myriad of reasons.
Poop in years. Fascinating.
He has a diet fully consisted of corn.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's Indiana.
Corn liquor.
Indiana.
Corn on the cob.
What do you want from me?
Yeah, so they kind of get this overinflated sense of value, and they think that they don't have to take somebody's feelings into consideration because, like, oh, well, I can do better, or I can, find happiness elsewhere, and they forget to look at the effort that is being put into the relationship that they're currently in, or the people who are currently pursuing them.
Yeah. I remember one time I ghosted somebody that was like really nice. And it was just because like I thought it was the culture, like that's what everyone's doing, so like I'm gonna do it too. And then I remember basically everyone started ghosting me that I was talking to, and then I went back to that person because I was bored, and I just like made a joke, and he's like, "Don't ever text me again." And like at first I was like, fair enough, I kind of appreciated that he stood up for himself, just like I'm worth more than that.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't it have been better if he just clapped cheeks and then was like, "Don't ever text me again"?
Right.
Like that kind of seems like.
No, because this particular person was somehow trying to keep from me that he was an officer, even though it made sense that he was, but he wouldn't admit it to me. So like at the end of the day, I was just like, okay, well, it's all null and void at this point.
Right. Fascinating.
So what would you say would be the key to like rekindling a romance that kind of ended on bad terms?
Oh, I've never done that, so
You never went back to like an old flame or anything?
yeah, but not that or ended on bad terms.
Okay, maybe I digress. Not like bad terms, like you guys were like, "Fuck you, I hate you," stuff like that. But that, there was like somebody that you ghosted or ghosted you, or that things kind of just fizzled out.
I think there has to be a reconciliation in the beginning and say like, this is my bad, this is my bad, and then go on from there and just kind of like scratch. Everything's a scratch. Time has gone by, like, because I do believe that like whoever's in your life is in your life at a purpose and a time, and it may not be forever, but that particular time is important to your journey. So like kind of appreciate like, okay, well, whatever happened in the past probably taught me something.
Yeah.
Jess?
Well, first and foremost, I try not to do that, like go back to like a old like fling or like old like relationship or whatever. Like I've done it in the past and I've just gotten hurt. But yeah, just like acknowledging like and like putting it out there and just like really like being like vulnerable and like admitting that like, yeah, sorry, I was wrong, or like I'm sorry, or blah blah blah. But again, personally, I just don't. I did that with like an ex-boyfriend, like my high school sweetheart. I went back with my ex-husband, like we try to make it work after the divorce, which was weird, and it just doesn't. So I try not to, I made peace with my past, and I just try to keep them there. But sometimes I do miss them. I always wonder like, oh, what if? But yeah, I guess like I'm just the worst. So I always just have to start off with apologizing like a million times.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to think that people can change, and that people deserve forgiveness, and as do we all, and that people can learn from their mistakes. But some people are just assholes.
It's true. But how many times are you gonna be willing to forgive them though?
Honestly,
yeah.
what did Jesus say? 7 times 77?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 7 times 70. I think.
Something like that. Jesus also didn't do a lot of things that I've done.
That's true. Yeah,
So if I can get like him on one thing, then it's a step in the right direction.
it's fair.
Ladies, there is a burning question that has been on my mind for quite some time.
Dun dun dun.
So a lady friend of mine a few months back sent me to the store. I might have been more than a few months. God, it might have been a year or two ago. But she was like, "Hey, can you go to the store and can you get me some tampons?"
Nope.
And I was like,
Nope.
"All right, cool."
Nope.
I mean, I don't fucking care. Like,
Nope.
Period don't stop nothing but a sentence, baby girl.
Yeah. No, I got it. But
And I'm like,
Courageous.
yeah, and like I'm fucking raunchy in bed, so if she's willing to do half the shit that I want, like least I can do is go get her some pads,
Yeah.
like it's fair.
Bold.
And so I get there, and I was genuinely baffled by the fact that they had like the different sizes, and not just like the but it was like the small, medium, and larges. So
Yeah.
is there like a metric to measure how big your vagina is for small, medium, large?
That's for.
See, we're confused. We need help.
Yeah, so we need the help here.
Yeah.
Well, first, I'm so glad you brought this up because in 3 episodes, we're going to have Dr. Nikki Doherty on, and she is a doctor of physical therapy, but for women's health. So she's all about vaginas and
Nice.
all about the health and anatomy. And those sizes are for your flow because as you bleed, you're going to have a different flow.
Yeah. Yeah, like the first day, it's going to be really heavy because you just started. So you're going to need like a super. And then, you know, by like day 3, I'm like almost done. So I'll just like use like a sanitary pad or like a light, like a small one.
Yeah, because I was thinking for a second, like if I'm in the grocery store and I see the woman like taking a small one, I'm like, I can't set her up with EP Mike. I got to wait for one to grab a large.
That's
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
Like she's got to have a cavernous.
Actually, I have a story with that. I was like 17 at like a summer pool party with my family, and I started my period. So I asked like the family's like daughter. She was, I think, like a senior at like the University of South Carolina, and you know, I asked her like, hey, do you have a tampon? And she hands me this big ass like super double like max, and I'm like, oh wow, like this is what college girls are like they're just spread out. I'm like, I try to put it in there and it hurts so bad.
A cotton baton.
Oh my god, yeah, it was the
Jesus.
worst. I'm just like, Jesus, I didn't know there was even such a size. It was like thick as fuck.
Yeah.
And again, like I was, you know, like dainty and little, like 17 and innocent. I only fucked my boyfriend. So I was like, oh my god, that's supposed to go where?
Yeah.
Love your vajayjay.
Yeah.
So if there's anything that you would want the listeners, whether they be veterans or probably more particularly just joined the military or just about to join the military, about how to like interact with females in the military, what would you want them to know?
Well, one thing that's been on my mind a lot lately since starting Sierra Hotel Echo is like I grew up as like elementary age, like very tomboy-like. Like I was definitely more on like a masculine side. I wasn't very feminine. And as I grew up, like I had a summer where I just matured, and then I had a woman's body, and then I was still very like athletic. So I didn't really feel that feminine until I joined the military, and then it was like I immediately was gendered, and all the time like I was a female and I had female clothing, I had female regs, I had female PT. So I think that understanding that women didn't choose to be women, like I didn't go to a supreme being as like a seaman and be like, make me a female. Like this just happened, and then I also probably didn't have a choice in my career field. So like kind of having this overall I guess evangelical understanding that like women didn't choose to be women, but they're still trying to pursue something. So truly just see them as equal, and then like stop sexualizing them from the moment you hear that they're coming to the unit. Like stop stalking them, stop like getting all your like lines ready, stop showing them around the shop, and then like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Like it's so annoying, it's so overplayed, and women are just sick of it.
Jess?
What do I have to
You
say?
had time to think, young lady.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Spaced out. So to the audience about females, I don't know, just don't be a fucking dick. Like,
It's pretty straightforward.
yeah, don't be a fucking dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed how that when Caitlin was doing her impression, she did like the typical voice that all women make when they mock guys, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, look at me,
What's
I'm a
going
guy."
on? Yeah.
Which is fair because the voice that we use to accurately describe what women sound like is like, Harold, when are you gonna come back from the store? Because I mean it's an accurate depiction of what it sounds like to be nagged. But that is funny.
Men, I swear, are way more naggier like in a relationship than women. Like
Yeah, because women are trifling. Like, don't do shit that makes me nag.
I
Like,
don't
just
know how
be
many-
chill.
I don't know how many times I'm in a relationship and it's just like if they're feeling insecure about the fucking littlest thing, it's like, hey, like it's just like constant, and you're like, I've been asking you to do something for a week. Like, calm down. It's been an hour.
Yeah, that's fair. I would also like to point out that as the second most tan person on the show right now, all minorities have a voice that they used to mock white people with.
It's true. Yeah.
yes.
And I'm sick of it.
Yeah, Jess's face says it all.
Yeah,
Right
exactly. Yeah. Sick of it. It's racist.
All minorities have a voice that they use to to mock white people with, and it's usually some like nerdy like glasses pocket protector sounding kind of voice, you know.
Yeah, like, well, actually.
No, see, exactly.
According to the Pythagorean theory.
Offensive.
See, mine is like a mix of like the man nagging voice and the female nagging voice, and a little more nasally than the man's voice. So, but yeah, that's what I used to mock my white friends with.
Right, white people.
White people, am I right? As EP Mike sits over there, red
just
face
smiling,
and hungover.
Loves it.
And we do apologize for anybody who watched that live feed.
Jesus Christ, yes.
It was fun
Sure.
until EP Mike decided that he wanted to drink all the alcohol
In the world. Yeah.
in the world, and gave away some trade secrets.
Sure,
you know, for his unskillful manipulation of the camera.
Man.
Cut a bunch of people out of frame
Multiple times.
multiple times.
Yeah, I couldn't stop doing it.
Yeah, so we do apologize to anybody who watched the live feed. Please watch the next one.
Yeah.
Don't turn off the notifications. Give us another chance.
Numbers
Take us
went
back.
way down.
We can do better.
Exactly. Talking about forgiveness. Forgive us. We're sorry.
Yeah, so we I think we're nearing the conclusion of this episode. So does anybody have any final thoughts before we let the listeners get back to their day?
I do. So I mentioned that Dr. Nikki Doherty is going to come on and talk about vaginas, basically. So if you're a listener of the Smoke Pit and you just actually have a question about vaginas, whether you're male, female, or whatever, email us or DM us at sierrahotelecho.podcast with your questions about vaginas, so we can ask her, because it's not something that's well known about. So I think we all like them. So
Right, yeah. All fans here. But also you could email us and ask us. It won't be as profound of an answer, but we'll still answer you.
I mean, one of us here is a subject matter expert.
That's right, EP Mike.
And because I remember the day I found out that women pee out of a different hole than they have sex with.
Fascinating.
And that was
what
mind
age
blowing.
is that?
I think like 24.
Like 3 days ago? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 24. And
Aretha.
and so it brought like a whole new meaning to I'll lick you where you pee.
Right.
Because it's a separate hole, you know, like you have to target that. Because like I thought, like, you know, like when you cream pied a girl and she went to go pee it out, that she was like literally peeing out. Like, no, like that doesn't impact it whatsoever.
I still thought that. I'm learning right now. I was this many years old.
Yeah, you never look down there.
That's true.
You have any closing thoughts, Mike?
No. I love you guys. That's all.
Jeff?
Ew, Mike, get away from me. No, I'm just happy to be here, and it's really awesome to to have met you guys and getting to know y'all. I love it.
So 2 things. One, go to popsmokemedia, is it .com?
.com, yeah.
And buy the Pop Smoke tank top.
Yeah.
We're about halfway sold out. We sold out within the first few days of this first 2 orders. And then we put all the money we don't spend on condoms into our T-shirt fund, and we bought a fuck ton of Pop Smoke tank tops.
There's so many tank tops.
There are just so many tank tops in my room right now.
Yeah.
And so go on there, buy one, send us a picture. We always appreciate seeing that. We try to repost as many as we can.
Yeah.
And tell your friends about it too. Payday is coming up, so you have no excuse. 2, and I think this is really what I want people to take away from this show, if anything, is that women get insecure about bromance.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
That is, yeah.
They're threatened by it.
That is frustrating.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Every girl that me or my buddy AJ has ever dated has always had some negative shit to say about the relationship we share with each other. Because he and I, we've known each other for 12 years, and we've done 10 countries together. We were in Iraq and Afghanistan together. And women are like, oh, why if you love him so much, why didn't you go fuck him? And he was like, if there was the slightest bit of gay in me, I wouldn't even talk to you, woman. Like, he and I would just be happy forever. Like, imagine this. We're just good to each other, and boom, we never get divorced. Like,
fascinating.
I love that. Wild.
So anything else before we get out of here? Because after this, we're probably going to crack open a few more beers.
Yeah. And go live again.
Yeah.
It'll be a whole thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Dan, do you take Venmo? I want to get a tank top.
Yes, we know PayPal. I think we do PayPal.
You do PayPal?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got PayPal.
I mean, if you, I would even put the challenge out there that if you were to arm wrestle EP Mike and win, I would just give you
For
a tank
sure.
top.
I was gonna say
I would
do something
love to see
goofy.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He's been lifting.
He has
you
been.
know?
He looks big as fuck.
Let's get a little flex, man.
Yeah, let's see it. Ooh,
Fire power.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're gonna go get hammered and
Yes,
probably play
finally.
some. Oh, because we have other games we can play too. Because you guys are in town till what, tomorrow morning?
Yeah, afternoon
Yeah,
now.
tomorrow.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
tomorrow
Yeah.
afternoon. Oh, so we can get hammered tonight.
Oh God, yes.
Well, EP
Yeah.
Mike can't.
No,
Yeah,
you don't. Yeah. There's
Right,
no
because
allowed.
at midnight is my birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Hey, happy birthday.
Congrats.
Yeah. No, we are. No.
Yeah, I'm like really like
That's awesome.
And in all seriousness, we love every single one of you who is listening right now.
Yes.
If you're going through any hardship or any struggle, remember to fight for yourself as hard as you would fight for someone else that you cared about. And as always, reach out to us. We may not always reply as fast as you might expect. Be patient, but at some point in time, persistency between EP Mike, myself, co-host Mike, even the guests that come on the Pot Smoke page, this podcast page, like just reach out to us. If you're going through some stuff, reach out to your friends, reach out to your coworkers, because at the end of the day, every single person can add value to this world. And if you feel that you've lost your purpose or things are hopeless, then find something to work for. Find somebody in need to help. And then once you finish helping everyone that you can possibly help in this world, then you can go quietly into the night. But until that time, it is your responsibility to fight. It is your responsibility to earn your rent on this planet. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.